All right, guys, welcome back here to Kings of the Storm Weekly number 11.
That's right. I'm Kubi.
I am Solid Jake GG,
And
as my handle says.
and this is possibly the last match of the night. If Temple Storm wins, they are on tournament point right now. They have come back a grueling 3 games against Cloud9 Maelstrom, where honestly Cloud9 Maelstrom looked really solid against them in the winners finals.
This is the 5th game of this tournament where Maelstrom and Tempo Storm played each other. Winners finals, Maelstrom 2-0s Tempo Storm. Losers finals, Tempo Storm brings it back and makes their way to the grand finals. They reset the bracket by 2-0ing Maelstrom, making the series 2-2, respectively, in this entire tournament. And then now Tempo Storm has taken the first game of this resetted grand finals. Match point here for the Storm that is Tempo.
They are determined. They don't get discouraged. They just say, we have 4 games to win. That's it, just 4 games. We can do it. I like the determination that they have. C9 Maelstrom, though, I mean, I think that they thought they were in a pretty good spot. Of course, they were after winners finals. What do you want to see differently out of their approach to bring this series back?
You know, they had the Asmodan, but I don't know if that hybrid dive on you with Asmodan style lost them the game. I just think they needed to be a little bit more aggressive with their advantage. They were playing so cautiously when it came to aggressing on those forwards.
I very much agree with that. That is a good way to look at it. I think they had 6 Dragonites. It's hard to think of a game where you have 6 Dragonites and you don't take any of the keeps.
Yeah.
I think that in itself sort of points towards a little bit too much passivity
Now,
in
the
pressing
hammer,
the aggression.
the hammer, you can't discredit hammer and just how well the hover siege was able to zone out.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a huge factor in all of that. But they had triple imposing presence. I was like, oh my goodness, they're going to negate so much damage, and still somehow Lightning Breath was actually a huge part of the story in that last fight. It just Diablo in general.
Up until that point, I even asked you the question at level 21 or something. Why did they grab Lightning Breath? It did very little during this fight. Do you think they should have gone APOC? Nope.
No,
Lightning Breath carried that last
I don't
fight.
think APOC would have changed anything in the game, and Lightning Breath constantly had that potential of doing a ton of damage. And we finally saw it. We finally saw it. It's a very powerful heroic ability. It cannot be stopped. It's the only heroic other than Barrel that literally cannot be halted in any way.
Yeah.
You can Void Prisonate and stall it, but that is it.
Right. Good points. Good points. All right, let's see if we can hunt down a Stormcraft. Since the lobby is created, it is ready to go. Do we have one yet? Not quite.
Yeah, that'll be going in just a minute.
Sure.
Now, the map is going to be Garden of Terror.
So we've now seen why both Asmodan and Hammer have been banned in these. Hold on, 1, 2, 3 of their previous games. Asmodan had been banned for every game previously. Asmodan did a lot of work that game, getting up to over 300 stacks.
I have to give you some credit for not voting against the Diablo for the flips, because the debt would be nullified at this point.
Really? That's it. Oh wow.
You're a smart man. You're
Gotcha.
smart. You're a smart
I know how to
bargainer.
bet. I know bet.
Can you switch over that
I
screen?
I can. Triple monitor status. Let's go. 4657.
That's the number if you would like to check out a Stormcraft link. Only if you're savvy enough to know what that means. Just random numbers we announce on. Oh no.
Oops. No data received. That is a very sad page. You see that? Very sad. Is the whole website down?
Yeah, we had this problem on Friday. Friday being yesterday.
Just the website crashed. Alright guys. Unfortunately, we'll just have to draft in in-game here and we'll...
Stormcraft appears to be down. Yeah, like I said, went through this whole problem yesterday. It's unfortunate. It's a tool that we kind of rely on for our tournaments. We're just discussing in the lobby if we're going to do the time manually as Stormcraft is being a bit of a problem. I'm continuing to mash refresh to see if we can get some life out of this website.
So the issue, of course, with us trying to time the... Okay. Should time. Yes, I agree.
Okay, we're going to do the time manually with the power of a smartphone.
Right. All right. 60 seconds and then a 90-second bonus pool. I might have to be a little bit less talkative during this, so I just want to make sure that the time is right. What are they yelling about now? Well, yeah, unfortunately we do need to time this. All right. Boom. I don't know who's first, but we'll have to see here. Jake, you're going to have to do your best job filling time. I trust you. Go for it.
Well, I'm telling the team to go, change the screen, and please hover picks.
Oh, they're getting a little feisty in here.
Yeah.
Tempo is first pick.
There's a little bit of back and forth. Seems like the players are tired from this 10-hour tournament.
Yeah, it's a long one. It is a long one.
And Stormcraft, of course, not working means we are not able to use it, unfortunately, so we're going to have to do this manually. Kubi's going to keep track of time and keep track of the pick and bans on paper, and we will show you guys and walk you through it on as it does proceed through here. I'm just going to check Tempo Storm one final time. And it is very dead. Ban on Asmodan.
So yeah, that is unfortunate, of course, that the website is down. This makes it a little bit more difficult for us, at least in terms of trying to walk and talk you guys through the draft thought process, of course. We've had some issues in the past with timers not being... It's difficult because they can't see the timers, so they don't have much time. I have to give them warnings in chat, timer-wise, on the 15-second mark. Unfortunately. It's fair, though. I understand it. But ideally, they'd be able to see the timer the whole time.
Correct. Well, we do see the first ban on Asmo. Ban on Rhaegar coming out of Cloud9 Maelstrom. I'm not surprised about the ban on Asmo, one bit. 600 bonus damage to that last game.
Yeah.
That's kind of gross.
Are they going to pick up Hammer right away, though? It did a lot of work for them in this last game. Pick ETC. Do they scoop up Hammer? Of course, this first pick, ETC for Tempo Storm. ETC being a very strong warrior support. Sorry, just warrior. Uh-oh, trying to set that up, huh?
Yeah, I don't know why it's not. I don't know why it doesn't remember. That makes me sad. I guess
Uther Illidan has been grabbed.
Interesting.
Potential for a dive style if they want to go for it. Works pretty well in double support as well.
All right. Uther Illidan can lean towards that Sonya Illidan. We've seen a lot of Sonya play, and it's had a lot of success as well. So definitely within the realm of possibility for Cloud9. Kubi being a wonderful timekeeper.
I'm trying here.
I wonder if you could be a good beekeeper. Have you ever thought about it?
Yeah, I did. When I was little, definitely. I was like, I can either go to college or I could be a beekeeper. All right, Tassadar Mouth. I went to beekeepers go to college? I don't know anyone that's a beekeeper.
I wish I knew.
Chat, if you know someone who's a beekeeper, let us know.
And if you're a beekeeper,
go to college?
Mail us some honey.
Yeah, that would be awesome, actually. Because I was thinking that, I'm like, oh, that seems kind of mean to beekeepers. I'm sure they're really smart people. They
Yeah,
go
I
to
bet
college.
they are.
You know, they go to college. Beekeepers go to college.
It sounds like a really kind of involved job. And bees are really important to being humans and agriculture in general.
It's a very good point.
So be nice to bees. If you guys aren't nice, oh god, that was not at all intended. If you guys are not nice to bees, well, you're doing something wrong. Bees are our friends.
What's the bonus pool? Is it 90 seconds?
Yes.
Okay.
How are you gonna do that?
Just restart the timer and then pool from it.
Of course, we're keeping track of this bonus pool. Sonia Vala.
Okay, 35 seconds bonus. Oh god.
This is rough not having an actual draft. Eventually, the in-game client draft system, of course, will be greatly improved for Heroes of the Storm. We've actually sent them a lot of feedback as to what they can do to make it more viable for tournaments, and the entire team at Blizzard that makes Heroes of the Storm has been so responsive and like gung-ho about making Heroes of the Storm easy for us to execute as an esport. We didn't have custom games for a very long time, and they gave them to us far before they were able to create like a user interface. Then a guy named Ali created this custom UI that we use here for tournaments. So it's been both a community effort by people like us and people like Stormcraft and Ali creating these tools to help the game push forward as an esport, but then Blizzard doing a lot of work on their end as well. We see that Sonya and Vala were picked up by Cloud9 and Zeratul Diablo. We're seeing the Diablo again, and we're going to see Glowering playing that Zeratul once more.
That's double tank.
That is double tank. Who's the other tank? I don't remember.
ETC.
Haha. So
They may go tankless because they have Illidan.
it's going to be Lightning Breath again, for sure.
No, I'm thinking from the Maelstrom side of things. They have Sonya, Illidan. They may go tankless.
Oh, Sonya being a tank.
Well,
yeah,
she's
that's
like.
And, well, we are almost done here. Into the bonus pool. 40 seconds.
Yeah.
If they run out of time, we tell them they have to play a hero. I don't know what happens when you run out of time.
It's technically random. I think they'll. I hope. I don't feel like having to defer to Matt for this.
We're just sitting here time keeping.
Oh, not 20 left. Sorry, that's 10 left.
Oh,
They're gonna go to time. Okay.
Really?
Okay, they did it. They're really cutting it close there.
the suspense was real. They made Kubi work for that timer. And Lily is going to be the final pick. The first time we've seen Lily here today in this entire tournament. We've actually seen a pretty wide variety of heroes. We were privileged enough to see the Lost Vikings played in a match. Very, very close game. And of course, if you missed all of those games, the past broadcast exists. And we've got a community member named Flintlock Freedom who does a ton of work over on the subreddit, Reddit.com/r/heroes of VODs. But he also helps me clip out the replays here for Kings of the Storm. And so big shout out to him. Hopefully we'll be able to get all those replays clipped out and up to the YouTube, which is youtube.com/solidjakegg. So be sure to check that out. Guys, hit that follow button on the channel. You can catch a ton of Heroes of Storm action here on this channel. Podcasts, shows, educational series. Why are we going back to this screen? Oh, bit of a mistake.
Psych!
And and you can go ahead and follow the Kings of the Storm Twitter channel, follow our tournament admin Cia Steve, and follow the Twitch channel ESL_Heroes, which is where Kubi and I cast the ESL Major League on Tuesday and Thursday nights.
Yes. All right, so back to the composition. We didn't get to talk about it a little bit too much because we were sort of tied up timing things. That's fine. It's just technical difficulties, no worries. That said, I'm a little bit confused by the Lily pick. It didn't process it quite well because I was concerned with their bonus time and everything. They have double tank, double dive. Double support, double dive.
Lily provides a ton of healing.
It's a very good point, but more often than not, if you go double dive, you want to have, I guess, either a warrior. Well, I don't know. It's something we don't see very often, and I'm going to be curious to see how it pans out.
All right, Kubi. I'm fixing the overlay. You
Awesome.
talk about the teams.
I can do that. I can do that for you. On the blue side for Cloud9 Maelstrom, they have to win this game or they are out of the tournament. We have Dunk Train on Uther. iDream's going to be playing Illidan. K1 Pro will be playing Vala. King Caffeine on Sonya. And Biceps will be playing Lily.
And on the other side of the map, we do have a Tempo Storm McDonald playing as Zeratul. It's going to be Malfurion played by Dreadnought. Soldier on the Diablo. This time he's going for that dark black skin. I like it. KO playing Tassadar and ETC will be played by Arthlon. We may be blessed with the mystery of the Moo once again. And we may find out, but the farm animal action is real
mystery
with
of the Moo.
The green pig. Now, it's the green pig. Excuse me, gold pig. Matches his hair perfectly.
It does.
I mean, it's
it really does.
It's really just. I think they might be related.
That's not fair. You can't make those assumptions.
That's true. You're right. Shame on me.
Shame on you.
Looking at the talents here, Lily going for that Conjurer's Pursuit. We're gonna take a close. We're gonna keep a close eye on the Lily talents. Is it gonna be a cheeky Lily build? Is this Lily doing my wonky Wednesday challenge?
Going for the damage, Lily. Who knows? Rancor was picked up for Vala. This points towards an auto attack build. We have seen some synergy style builds before where they just grab Rancor and sometimes battle momentum at level 7, but also Arsenal at 4. So it's some multi-shot talents. They probably will grab Frost Shot so that they can chase a little bit easier with those autos. We'll have to keep an eye on those talents picked. Block for Zeratul and ETC, a little bit of extra sustain. Considering the amount of auto attackers, it makes sense. 1-1-3 split for both teams. Seems as though Maelstrom is being able to apply a bit more pressure in this bottom lane.
Yeah, and that's what we're seeing. They're pushing forward. They've got that Vala, but the Shadow Charge, the flip is there. But Soldier might pay with his life. The shielding coming out from Tassadar. Ow. Gonna keep him alive.
Just at the last second, the seeds have spawned. At this time, Maelstrom has taken a more aggressive stance. They're clearing up the seeds that are available on Tempo Storm's side of the map.
Yeah, with Diablo having to hearth back there, that is just going to be an easy 30 seeds on the bottom half of the
However,
map.
the top side, we see that Arthlon and Glaurung cleared up the auxiliary camps. So this might be an even split. I'll assume that Maelstrom picks up both set of auxiliary camps on the bottom side. And actually, no, there's a bit of a team fight going on. Arthlon has probably caught himself a bit out of position.
Yeah, but with Diablo coming, trying to rescue him, the self-heal, the E from Arthlon, healing him up. Dreadnought has arrived with the roots and the heals. iDream.
Overextended? Not quite.
Nope.
Both teams are going to back up out of this situation. Arthlon happy to be out of there with his life.
Not moving with joy quite yet, but...
Not yet.
Well, the seed status is 27 picked up, so... It's going to be a pretty darn close even split when it boils down to it. But right now, Tempo Storm isn't soaking that middle lane, so they are having a bit of a deficit in the experience.
Good points, yep. I'm curious to see what these teams are going to do in terms of cleaning up the boss golems that provide 60 seeds each. Do they wait to get kills first? Do they try to sneak party bushes? Do they both teams decide to just have a gentleman's agreement and split top side, bottom side? If that's the case, no plant tower will be awarded to either team in this phase. Otherwise, if one team likes to get a bit aggressive, they might get some pressure out of it, get some kills, some forts, who knows?
Now, QB, this is the first game where we have seen a Rancor build on Vala. We've seen multi-shot literally the entire game.
Good point.
And what do you think is provoking that?
What's provoking that? I think you have a lot more opportunity for Vala to get cheeky, aggressive, however you want to put it. You do have the double support, some sizable burst healing from Uther, and you also know for sure that you're going to have 2 frontliners in the face of the enemy team. This might buy you a little bit more time spacing-wise to push forward, be within range of your auto attacks, which is lower than that of your spells, and might not get punished as much for it. That said, it still does less damage, but if you're given opportunities, it might be more damage over time. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, so do you think... Okay, cool. What about the topic of Nexus Frenzy? You think that's like a guaranteed instead of Bolt?
It will depend on how the team fights have been running up until that point.
Okay.
If she finds herself getting focused because she's pressing too far forward, Bolt might have to be an option to use as an escape on top of Vault. If she finds that she's been getting away with it up until that time, yeah, you might go in for Nexus Frenzy to get that extra range. It's 20% extra range and attack speed.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to see. Well, we see the Enduring Regrowth here on Malfurion going full heal style, that Shadow Charge onto King Caffeine, the dash forward out of VTC. The amount of bullying and control they can do with that double tank is actually quite cool. We're seeing double tank versus, in theory, zero tank, as Sonya is largely considered as more of a bruiser. Not going to be enough to get this kill on K1 Pro Soldier. Needs to back on out.
So what would I... Oh, never mind. I was about to talk about the build for Sonya. You're going to see some rotations here. Glaurung getting on their side. Probably just wants to steal some seeds. Yep. That's going to be enough to get them... Oh man, did he get all of them?
Gosh. That was disgusting. Well done. The Money Pig in the stealth status. Stealing a ton of
That was
seeds.
a lot of seed stolen. I'm surprised they weren't expecting that. I mean, they're obviously very well aware that Zeratul can accomplish this. I was expecting him to get some aggression and have to blink over. But only picking up 10 seeds, is, he doesn't have to get that many of the 30 seeds or so that pop out of there.
And you might say, wow, why are they taking these knights so convincingly? Well, they have so much knockback that they know they're going to be able to force anything they want off of that camp to cap it, and the Plant Terror is ready to roll. Who will be the one to hearth back and pick it up?
Uh-oh, King Caffeine is attempting to take these knights here. Arthlon catches himself in a 2v1 situation, but Dreadnought is, of course, rotating forward. And that's both sets of bruiser camps going in favor.
Yeah, that's a steal.
Now, Arthlon was aware that they were there, because as you pick up the Garden Terror, the only camps that remain on the map are those that are being aggressed at the current time.
Great point.
So they say, oh, we don't have any members up there, but that camp's still on the map. That means that someone from C9 Maelstrom is attempting to take this. We can rotate heroes up there, put some pressure on. It was smart of Maelstrom to back up so they didn't lose any heroes.
Level 10 for both teams has been acquired. Looking at it, I mean, we do see the Mosh Pit. We do see the Lightning Breath once again.
Oh, Mosh Pit into Lightning Breath. I almost vomited. That's a lot of damage.
So no damage lately this game. Going for that support style. Rain of Vengeance, Metamorphosis, Divine Storm. Sonya,
I can almost guarantee you that's going to be lead. We haven't seen Wrath of the Berserker used in any games yet. If the stuns are low on the other side, maybe, and you don't need to go for a Wombo style, it sometimes can work. Haven't seen it competitive. There's almost always a sizable amount of stuns available on the other team. Not taking this is just I couldn't really tell you why. They're not really hiding anything. It's not. I think it would be a huge surprise if they went for Wrath.
Well, Glaurung just rotating around with this Plant Terror, doing the damage that he can do.
Does a bit less damage to structures than the Dragon Knight does. Hi. Oh no. Okay.
Kubi doesn't even know what to think anymore.
There's so many stuns available in the base kit for...
They're going doubles. Now, okay, Wrath of Berserker. Let's read this. It's 40% bonus damage in basic attacks and abilities. We'll talk about it in a minute as Arthlon is taking a lot of damage with Tranquility. Healing him up nicely at this point. That healing ward, double healing ward, has gone down for Temple Storm. With the Rain of Vengeance connecting with KO, doing a lot. That breath, the lightning breath, is with the dance is going to be nearly enough to take out King Caffeine, but the self-sustain with a Whirlwind is going to keep him alive. Divine Storm hitting Soldier. Soldier will end up falling, and the Illidan going Glaurung blinks out to safety.
I didn't think about this, but you could... we saw it a little bit in that last fight. They cleansed Sonya out of the dance, and he also was able to dodge CC from the Whirlwind. So as soon as he was cleansed, he can Whirlwind. It works for a second.
Hey,
You get an entire second of CC
They couldn't
immunity out
kill
of it.
him, that's for sure. They tried.
They did.
and
They came close, but
like we were saying, what is the ability to do? Well, that's 40% additional damage as I hover the wrong thing, and 50% reduced duration on CCs.
okay. Spell Shield's a little confusing. You would expect him to go into a heavier style world, but maybe this is just a completely new style of build. I imagine if you're going Wrath, you want the
They got
extra
double heals,
lifesteal.
though. They got double heals.
They
They
do.
got,
You're
they
right
got
about that.
Lily and Uther, so this is something new.
Now, that is an additional damage on those slams too, but I think you'd want to reduce the cost at 13. That's the usual pickup is the reduced
Yeah,
cost
that's
for
a good point.
successive slams.
Well, this Plant Terror will be granted to the side of Cloud9. They're going to pick it up with their Illidan, played by iDream, and these seeds slowly being collected as Arthlon walks in to steal a few.
Being a jerk. Just say, I see your hard work. I'm just going to go and scoop these up. Yeah, it's no problem.
These are mine.
No problem. Just mine. All right, and as you mentioned, the Garden Terror is marching his way here. Throws down that Overgrowth and the Queen's Curse. Pulsing away. That is an AoE polymorph, which means you can cast no abilities. You can only move when you're inside that radius. It's very impactful, and it can really turn a lot of teamfights. As you can see, Soldier, I think you also move slower when you're inside that.
Let's take a look at
Yes.
the Queen's Curse.
Oh, never mind.
30% movement speed on the boost. Plant Terror, and that's just the AoE to minions. And
Yeah, movement speed
structures.
slow by 30%.
30% slow, yeah.
That helps you to catch up to targets as the Garden Terror.
It's like a Sticky Flare and a Polymorph all in one.
Now, the big thing to mention before this team fight goes, I don't know if we have a chance to talk about it, they do have another 100 seeds behind this. That means a 30-second gap after this Terror has been taken, they are allowed to capture another Garden Terror. It's going to put a lot of pressure on the structures for the Temple Storm side of things. They're still playing very patiently here. They haven't decided to initiate. It would be quite difficult considering the choke points. I can understand exactly. And they find themselves at about a 1.5 level deficit. A flip going on to King Caffeine here. He doesn't have Leap to get out.
No, he does not. He does have Wrath of Berserker in this game, but the support's giving him that heal. Now, we're going to have to pay attention to this Giant Killer because Vala is going to have so much damage. He's already got about 18,000 damage done in this game, and with double tank, Giant Killer becomes, well, twice as good.
Absolutely. Level 16 almost attained here for Cloud9 Maelstrom. They're looking strong in this game so far, but there's only been one big team fight post level 10. I'm so curious to see how this Wrath of the Berserker is going to pan out.
Yeah, this is something Kubi's wanted for a long time.
Yeah, I've been messing around with this quite a bit. And my determination was, hey, if you have too many CCs on the other team as part of their base kits, it's too easy to get rid of the Whirlwind, and then your sustain is just not high enough in those team fights. But again, I mentioned that the cleanse, it can be very impactful, at least keeping you alive for another second.
All right, so the second Plant Terror for Cloud9 is now ready. They have really dominated the night phase. Ever since getting those first seeds stolen, they've done a good job controlling them. Seeing these mercs picked up, the map is largely blue. Well, no, I take it back. It's split.
Yes, with just the giant camp available left on the C9 Maelstrom side of things, I don't think that Temple Storm will get aggressive in trying to take that. That seems unnecessarily risky. Arthlon pushing forward, probably just checking to see, yeah. And now that the Garden Terror has been taken, it is no longer able to be capped. Hiding a little bit of a party bush situation.
Soldier's like, please let me in.
He's too big. They
KO.
catch KO. Dunkchain at least has sight of this.
And they are going to want to meet this Plant Terror, just throwing down that Overgrowth to eliminate that wave very quickly. And KO just throwing up that side storm to try to just stall this out as much as he can. Removing those walls first, opening that playing field.
That's right.
Kind of a weird thing considering that those could be used to heal King Cathy.
That's very true. Very true. We see a lot of pressure going onto this fort, taken just about for free. And actually, iDream in the Plant Terror is pushing very far forward. Is probably going to throw a Queen's Curse in that gap, that choke point between the two, slapping away at those heroes. Now, while I said that the Garden Terror was slightly weaker in taking out structures, it makes up for that in the ability to... Oh, they flipped iDream over the wall. Now, of course, they were able to break the wall very quickly. It's still a cool play. Throws quite a bit more damage down onto him. And he's quickly finding himself out of HP.
Yeah, iDream is very low at this point. The Spirit goes out, not quite connecting. Look at that Overgrowth, trying to do some damage, but the keep is still quite happy.
While all this is going on, level 16 has been grabbed for C9 Maelstrom. Imposing presence, double blood for blood, stone skin, and 2 for 1. Pretty standard grabs. Nothing out of the ordinary there. And iDream now catching himself out of position. The cleanse just only allowing him to walk away from the situation. Nicely done from Dunk Train to fall back, get the stun over the wall to heal him, to cleanse him. Just nice support play there.
Yeah, double support is real, and the seeds have spawned once again during this third night phase. Looks like they're just going to grab that first camp and then rotate up to try to take a fight. Level 16 to 17. KO patiently waiting in the bushes as there goes a VP onto 2 members of Cloud9. Metamorphosis to get out, but the dance is picking up 4 members of Cloud9. In the lightning breath is just doing so much work. But where's the stun on the Jugs? Okay, Soldier manages to pick up the Jugs. Glaurung getting blown up, and the slam from the wrath of that Sonya player is going to pick him off.
Yeah, the lightning breath, it kind of seemed like it just didn't do enough work there.
Jugs just stopped it. They didn't have a stun available, unfortunately.
People sometimes make the joke, yeah, lightning breath would be a good ability if it didn't heal the enemy team.
Yeah,
with Jug, it was able to not actually pierce the HP regen of Jugs in that case, and the healing from Uther. So even though the dance was there, still not quite enough damage.
Well, it looks like a third Plant Terror in a row is going to be picked up here by Cloud9. Presently, Arthlon is soloing this guy. Will his team assist him after these Giants? It looks like they are making their way on over, but Cloud9 Maelstrom is in hot pursuit from the top.
They're rotating in. They're going to try to flank around the backside here. I think that Tempo Storm is aware of this. iDream perhaps caught out of position. I don't think he has Metamorphosis up for a little while, so he has to be careful with his positioning. He is still quite squishy, even though the auto attacks heal him. Soldier a bit forward, does have that overheal. Dunk Train moving in. There's that Metamorphosis, just got back up.
Yeah, Soldier. Okay, so we did lose our Diablo player. That is the first kill. Arthlon completely separated from the rest of his team. Gonna end up falling as well. He has no chance of escaping both a Sonya and an Illidan, and that's a 2-0. Plant Terror still waiting for Cloud9, and there's more seeds to be collected for them as well. It's looking really good for Cloud9. This is an unorthodox build, but they have a 2-level lead. I mean, we're seeing Lily and Wrath Sonya. Not something we expected.
Not at all. Once again, iDream hopping into the Plant Terror. Just going to go down Overgrowth, these mercenary camps, and if you guys weren't aware of this, oh, does he? Yeah, he does choose to use it. If you weren't aware of this, the Overgrowth cleans up creep waves and mercenary camps incredibly quickly. I mean, killing camps of bruisers within a matter of 2 seconds.
Notice the micro on that Plant Terror's flashlight. The second that it turns to day and not night, he turns his flashlight off. He doesn't want to waste any energy pushing forward.
I still want to see like one of those anglerfish hats on top of him. Okay, iDream pressing in once again into this bottom keep on the Tempo Storm side of things.
Level 19 to 17, Tempo Storm on the defensive. They have been losing team fight night phase. The night phase 6 kills to 0 in favor of Maelstrom.
Glaurung blinking in, just applying a little bit of damage with that wormhole. Blinking back out. Still though, the double sustain and Lily, it's making it hard to make any headway in terms of damage onto Maelstrom. Slowly but surely, they're chipping away at these structures. iDream finding himself just about out of HP on this Garden Terror, and that's probably when the actual team fight is going to really erupt. Does Soldier dive in to apply some pressure? There it is. The Shadow Charge and the Overpower, not yet. Waiting on it. There it is, onto Dunk Train. But he has Divine Storm. That might not be the best of targets to choose. The VP going down, isolating 2 members. And there it is, the dance into Lightning Breath.
Picking off one target very quickly, and that is the Lily. So there are no Jugs, but the Divine Storm doing a lot of work, stunning them out. The body blocks and King Caffeine are real, but ETC is going to end up falling. Illidan is just running on town, especially King Caffeine too. The damage between the two of them collectively is, well, it's a lot.
Well, it is a lot.
Now,
Let's
my big problem with all of that entire fight, and a lot of fights, is Dread is casting Tranquility while everyone's at like 90% health.
It's sort of preemptive, I'm guessing. He's probably expecting more damage to be going down on the rest of the team.
But it's kind of like when you whiff on a
ancestral healing.
Ancestral healing, yes. It's not as bad because it does persist for a long time.
Right.
But I feel like it might be a little bit more impactful in those fights if he waits just a few seconds.
Both teams backing up, taking more camps and/or cleaning up the lanes. Level 20 has been achieved. And we do see that Nexus Frenzy that you were talking about on Vala. Bolt of the Storm for Illidan. That's just He can find himself in sticky situations. This is the extra mobility he might need to get out. Divine Hurricane. Hardened Shield for Sonya. I think that's a great grab there because she runs into that problem where she just doesn't have the amount of HP. That solves it for at least 4 seconds. And then Jug of 1 million cups. No Storm Shield. No, what is it, fast? Kung Fu Hustle?
Yeah, no Kung Fu Hustle, yep.
No Kung Fu Hustle, so.
Probably should have had that talent screwed up, my blunder there, but man, I'm excited to see this Nexus Frenzy style. I mean, we talked about the Rancor Manticore, and typically we see the Bolt, but not going to be happening here. Top Giant can't pick up. The Void Prison did stall them out long enough for that to be secured, but
Arthlon perhaps out of position if they get in for a body block. No, they're not going for it. Continuing to rotate to the bottom side of this lane. They're going to steal these Giants that were started.
5 seconds until nighttime. I'm just taking a look into the stats. I mean, we're talking this Wrath Sonya style. 31k damage done. Still behind Illidan, still behind Vol, but that's their tank, and that's a good chunk of damage. Still not quite as high as the Lightning Breath Diablo.
How do you feel about this?
I think Lightning Breath Diablo is 2 Gosu.
2 Gosu.
Oh, well, Glaurung, not 2 Gosu today. He's going to get eliminated. Soldier running away from this fight. Losing a member like that is going to trigger a lot of aggression out of Cloud9. They want to knock on this top lane doorstep. And there's the Ancestral KO, or excuse me, the Tranquility. Just outside of it, yes, there goes the healing ward. The healing is up 40 seconds on Zeratul right now.
Oh, that feels like an eternity at this point, especially when you have such strong siege, just burst heroes like King Caffeine, and like you have with Illidan.
And lack of level 20, that doesn't help either.
That's
the Metamorphosis to pick off Arthlon. They're trying, but a nice Shadow Charge is going to force him back.
Bolt to get out. He was in a situation where he was probably body blocked for a good another couple seconds. Flip over once again, but he dashes forward. They take the keep and they say, we're out of here. Don't need to stay any longer. Don't need to get too aggressive.
Leave it with style, using the Ancient Spear on the wall. I mean, style points on this, on that exit.
I like it.
Yeah,
very flashy exit. Say, we see what we did here, and now you got to see us leave.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, the kills are still 8-1. They cannot seem to pick up a kill with this double front line between the Illidan and the Sonya, and then the double support of Lily Uther.
Okay, so both teams are going to trade a Terror here. How they end up using them does...
Wow, they're backing up.
So here's the issue. We may see Maelstrom just hide on somewhere near the top side for Tempo Storm. If they choose to press anywhere past the halfway mark of the map, and of course they can always see where the Garden Terror is on the Tempo Storm side of things. We've seen Tempo Storm do this time and time again, so they're probably well aware of this strategy. They have to play very defensively with it. If they sit anywhere past halfway point with that Terror, they can just rush in and just dive onto the core and kill it, because there's no way to cancel the Garden Terror, and you can't
That's a good point. It's a really good point. And like you said, they're stalling it out, pushing forward with this Garden Terror. Illidan will now capture this. Now let's just talk about the level 20 talents really quickly. We're not going to see Storm Shield out of Diablo. We're going for the increased damage on Lightning Breath. That's more range, 50% more duration, and, well, that more duration means more damage.
I need to correct myself. You can cancel the Garden Terror, but if they show and then you cancel it and then run back. But all right, we have another fight here brewing. Arthlon taking quite a bit of damage, especially from this Wrath of the Berserker and Whirlwind going down. The slams are hurting quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's an unfavorable trade no matter what, because you're not going to kill Sonya. She is going to run away successfully.
That's right.
And that block coming up. Divine Storm onto KO with a Rain of Vengeance combo is going to blow him up very quickly. Prescience will not save him today. That Lightning Breath is going to be healed through nicely by the Sonya Uther, or excuse me, Lily Uther. And that Garden Terror is just about capiche.
Yes, iDream had some very nicely timed, especially when you consider the Divine Storm throwing down the Queen's Curse, the AoE polymorph underneath that. That's a lot of people are trying to tap into Dimensional Shift, and that's why we saw Tassadar dying so quickly after that. This may give them the window of opportunity to push in for the core. I don't think that they're going to grab it. It's not quite C9 Maelstrom style to make an aggressive play like that. They are going to get this keep, however.
Yeah, this keep is indubitably going to fall.
Nice word there, Jake. I like that.
It's a good one. It's a great word. And, you know, just the Garden Terror smacking super hard 23 minutes into this game.
We do have level 20 talents. We didn't get a chance to talk about them because that last fight lasted for so long, but we have Maelstrom. Lightning Breath lasts and reach is 50% longer. We have had a couple fights where they were able to step outside the range of Lightning Breath. This may solve this problem. For previously, they had grabbed, what, Storm Shield both the games that Diablo were played, so Malfurion has that, not taking Bolt this game.
Oh my goodness, the VP catching biceps in K1 Pro. Is this enough an opportunity to get a kill? We see the Lightning Breath going up, doing a lot of damage. Divine Storm cannot stop it, but the Jugs not quite enough with Arthlon bolting forward, helping pick up that kill. We still have, I believe, Mosh Pit available. Just came off cooldown, so we would have set that up, but it was on cooldown for a brief moment. Every other cooldown except Tranquility and Mosh Pit not available.
How aggressive does Tempo Storm get here? If they catch one more member of this, they may be able to push in to take a keep. Doesn't look like... Oh, wait a minute. Biceps. Too far out of position. Diablo and ETC should be enough lockdown to secure this kill.
Oh.
Is C9 Maelstrom going to extend a little bit too far to save them? Glaurung quite a bit low on HP. Biceps will fall. iDream is perhaps the next target.
Tranquility is doing so much that Dance is just zoning the Shadow Charge onto iDream. He's going to be hard to pick up. The Bolt of the Storm into the roots. Incredible predictive roots by Dreadnought. Well done. They might even try to end the game here. We saw this last time. They were behind, and then they brought it forward. Their core is falling, though. Catapults sieging it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 catapults unleashing onto that, and they need to Hearth. If they stop the Hearth, they will lose here.
Hold it. Wait a minute. I forgot. The creep wave spawning might buy them enough time. Yes, it will. They don't have any mules on their side, so things have gotten a little bit scarier for them. They weren't even able to take a fort. That's so unfortunate on the Tempo Storm side of things. Buying C9 Maelstrom a little bit more time. Has Glaurung been too far out of position? Is going to be a stun from Dunk Train? No. K1 Pro is going to back up. He's uncloaked at the moment. He does have the extra range on his auto attacks, and the tower shot is going to finish off Glaurung.
That's game.
That is absolutely the game. They have the Planetary. You're right about that. We are going to game number 3. This is the final match of the tournament. This could not go any closer between these two top tier teams in the NA scene.
2 games in the series.
Are they not doing it? Are they not finishing it? Really?
They just don't want to. They don't want to.
How much health is the Terror? The Terror is so much health. It's 25 minutes into the game. It's not going to die. Just kill it. Okay. All right. I mean, they're in the hot seat. They get to make these decisions.
The Divine Storm connecting with 3 members of Tempo Storm. I don't think this is going to be enough for them to stall this out because the Plant Tower has made its way to the core. Catapult sitting there, smacking away. The Archon trying to keep it alive, but will not happen. Souls for Diablo, but it will not matter.
These teams, they're battling it out till the end.
We have never had a series this close.
No.
2-0 winners finals for Maelstrom. 2-0, the first set of the grand finals, resetting the bracket, go to Tempo Storm. Game 1, Tempo Storm. Game 2, Maelstrom. Final game coming up next. Smack the crap out of the table.
There's no other way to put it. This is as close as it gets. This is as epic as it can be. These are some of the best games of Heroes of the Storm we have seen to date.
Some tight pants games here.
Absolutely.
Really tight pants, and I'm thrilled about the matches. So we're going to get ready for our next match, guys. Going to throw to a quick 5-minute commercial break, and we'll be back in just a moment to find out what the third and final game of Kings of the Storm Weekly number 11 will be.
You can stay right